Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. I'm here today with President and Director Raul Sanabria of Baroyeca Gold and Silver. Raul, welcome to the interview.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks a lot. Good to have you here again. Thanks.
Yeah, we had a great show at the MIF. You had a great presentation. We got a lot of comments and positive responses about Baroyeca in particular. So in this interview, I thought we'd cover some material that would be of interest to my subscribers and anybody else that would be listening to this. First and foremost, everybody knows I'm a big supporter of John Robbins of Discovery Group. You know, with the recent success we've had with him, with Great Bear and Kaminak, K2 Gold, Discovery Group in the past. I like to follow John wherever he goes. I will always follow him, obviously. But your relationship with John, Rick Wilson, who's the CEO, has known John for many years, and you know, why don't you talk a little bit about that to enlighten people about the nature of John Robbins' influence with the company?
Well, the main relationship is between Rick Wilson and John. Of course, they know each other for a number of years, and but Rick was able to attract John to look at our little company, to look at who we are, and we were really fortunate. I mean, honored to have him. He's a special advisor to the board. He's not even a board member, but he's a very active person in the company. We take his advice seriously, very seriously. And he's also a big investor in the company. He's a shareholder of the company. Now, John has visited the project with us. He came in November. He was with the group to the Colombian Gold Symposium. He was at the Atocha project, and we took him around. And actually, he's really excited to the number of showings, and particularly that the property is completely unexplored from past or modern exploration methods. There's a colonial district, there's colonial mines around, but what really makes him excited is like every outcrop, every vein that he has seen on the property is a discovery. So that's what he thinks. And also, and these are his words, they are not mine, having those outcrops with those numbers is like having a lottery ticket and you know the number. And we have now 150 of them. Yeah,
no, it is very exciting. And, you know, it seems like, you know, that's where his excitement is, Atocha. Obviously, you have other projects that you're excited about too. Why don't you talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, we want to do things right from the beginning. So we had our business model very clear. We don't want to amalgamate many projects. We want to take quality projects like everybody else. And we have two. Now we might be looking at a third one, but we have two. Atocha is our flagship, and we are in a nice gold silver market. And Atocha, like my crew used to say, is a silver deposit contaminated with gold, which is a nice thing to be contaminated with. But it's a district scale, it's 2,600 hectares, like a 5 by 5 kilometer block. We got the regional major structures transecting the property. So the whole property has potential, at least 3/4 of it. And there's potential for a true discovery, and a major discovery, even though we are in the grassroots stage and we did the first drill holes on the property. We started them in October, first holes ever in that area. Wow. The other project that we have is Santa Barbara. In Santa Barbara, we're taking a different approach. We know that we have a quality project in terms of gold veining. Colombia is very famous for high-grade veins, and we see the Segovia, Remedios operations, Gran Colombia Gold, what's in the CG in Buritica. We have seen California, Betas District, La Bodega, all those deposits, really high-grade. So this is no different. And Serranía de San Lucas is one of the richest gold belts in Colombia. But we wanted to go different. We wanted to not to go drilling, but find a cash flowing opportunity at the same time that we conduct exploration. So we fund exploration, we fund the overhead, and we explore for free. Imagine we got a bad market. We didn't know what was going to happen this year, and we cannot raise any money. But if we can generate $1 million, $2 million out of a cash flow operation while we advance bulk sampling, we are above the herd in those terms.
So yeah, that bulk sampling plant sounds very good to me, because not only does it generate cash, like you said, it proves up your resource as you're going along. So from a regulatory standpoint, when you go to do a 43-101 resource calculation, all this work is going to be to your benefit, and you'll have it done ahead of time. So
exactly. We can predict shoots, so we can predict the distribution of the gold in the shoots if there's a negative effect. So we now characterize the deposit. We got 500 tons in one vein. We took that out of 120 meters of linear tunnel, and everything behaves similar. And now we're accessing the second vein parallel to that. We got very consistent grades, 1 ounce per ton, and that goes in line with all the other parallel veins that we found on the property. They are all in rock samples above 10 grams per ton. So we got the density, we got the length, we got the consistency in grades to find another interesting, potentially viable project. And at the same time, exploration works for free and pays for all the overhead in Colombia. Right now, we can get that little operation as it was last year during the 500-ton bulk sample to pay for all the Colombia overhead and have some left over.
wow, that's wonderful. That'll keep our shareholder dilution down. By the way, what's our current share structure right now?
38 million and 56 fully diluted, but most of the warrants are in the hands of the insiders or key players in the early finances, like John and like other big supported investors. So they are all in good hands. And management, we own about 20 to 25% of the company. Management and insiders, 25% of the company. Really tight.
And what do you think budget-wise? What's our treasury right now? What do you think we'll have to spend per year, exploration budget-wise?
As much as we want. We want to be really aggressive in Atocha, and we're looking for a third project. So we are going to announce a financing in the very short term in the range of 3-4 million. Right now we have about 500,000 in the till while we are completing our phase 1 program. But our intention is not to stop that drill program, is continue that and even probably bring in a second drill and get Santa Barbara to be at full steam with bulk sample 2 and bulk sample 3.
Super. No, that sounds really good. So we got about 2.5 minutes left. I wanted to talk geologically. You and I were talking earlier before the interview, and I always like to help my listeners, my subscribers, understand, the basic geology that we're chasing. And you were describing these veins that come to surface, and I was asking you, how deep did these go? Why don't you explain, just go into a segue about what you were telling me, because I think it would be of interest to our listeners.
Yeah, at least in Santa Barbara, they are hosted in the granite. They are very consistent, mesothermal quartz veins. So they go in the hundreds of meters, and you get other comparables. You look at Baroyeca, you look at Segovia, you look at that batholith. That's a very good comparison. You look at Soma Gold. These things are go 300, 400, 600 meters minimum with non-variability of grades. Atocha is different. Atocha has several processes, one on top of another, that makes that exceptional. You get the primary event of orogenic veins hosted in basement. They are like schists and gneisses, pure basement, like here in the Shield. And they are pure gold veins. And they go from all the way from Ecuador to northern Colombia in the Cordillera. Now, they have other processes that overprint them. You get another tangential shears events. And when those things join together, they form like better permeability zones. They're like forming the initial precursor shoots. And then is 1 to 2 epithermal events that are coming with gold and silver and remobilizing more gold and more silver and concentrate that more. So they are very narrow along strike. You're looking at 50 to 100 meters along strike in most of them. It can be bigger ones. But down deep, I had the luck to evaluate, was lucky to evaluate at Porvenir mine, and they go for 600 meters and it's still open when I was there 4 years ago. So, and it's consistent. So you're looking at those long shoots with a frequency of them on kilometer scale, kilometer to 2 to 5 kilometer length of orogenic veins at a certain frequency that we can predict, we can control, we can find. And LiDAR and terrain analysis are becoming a great event to find those and differentiate from the rest of the structures. But in a Cordillera, it's all broken up and faulted. Yeah.
Well, I think that explanation explains why John Robbins is so excited.
Yeah, we got lots of those identified zones with targets at surface with gold and silver values. along those structures that were already mapped. So at Laie, Beta Grande, we're looking at 2-3 kilometers of a structure mapped, and then we got showings all over them. And it's not just one vein, it's like a stacked series of veins.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, I'm a big shareholder. I'm looking to buy more shares. So this is one of the most exciting stories I think we've got going right now. So everyone, Raul Sanabria, President and Director, Baroyeca Gold and Silver. Thanks, Raul.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks again for having me here today.